And welcome to another edition of Decision 2022 here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and by way of the Next Door Radio app. Today, we have a very special guest for you, Vance Johnson. He is candidate for Granville County Sheriff. Good afternoon, Mr. Vance. How are you today?
Doing well. How about you?
We're doing fantastic. We appreciate you. I know you're a busy individual, so we appreciate that very much for joining us. Let's kind of dive right into tell us your story, kind of in a as only you could.
Well, out of high school, I went and joined the Army and served in the Army, served in Desert Storm, got out and put myself through basic law enforcement training and went to work in Henderson. And I was there for 14 years, did many different assignments, K-9 officer, I was in charge of the drug enforcement. It was a city county task force. I was in charge of, the highway interdiction team. I created that. I started that program. I was in charge of 5 different K9s. I'm a K9 trainer. I was an instructor, so I did all the training for the department. And along with several other tasks throughout the year.
Yeah.
And I got a chief's job down in Anson County in Wadesboro, right off of Highway 74.
Okay.
And long ways from here. I had small children, wanted to come back closer to home, and got a job as a police chief in Wendell, which is eastern Wake County.
Okay.
And I was there for about 3.5 years, and I had 5 different city managers. So it was
okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And not that they were bad at all, but it was a lot of things going on in Wendell at the time. The economy was bad, and Wendell was expanding. So there was a lot of things going on there. The wife and I said, "Hey, where did we miss?" And we missed Granville County. We had lived in Granville County prior to, and my children had gone to school here. We wanted to come back here. So I went back to Henderson. I'm assistant police chief. I've been back 10 years. It's an accredited agency, and I like that part of it. My whole family's in Granville County. I've got 2 daughters. I've got 3 grandchildren.
Bless you.
And my wife, before I got the chief's job, was a teacher's assistant at Cradle and various places. And, so we missed it here. And, I miss my tractor and my fishing pond, right? So, but I guess that's it in a nutshell, so to speak. I mean, probably quite a bit of other things, but that's kind of what brought me here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm here running for sheriff, all of that kind of leads into that. I mean, I'm working on my 30th year in law enforcement. And, I think that when I looked at it early in the year, I thought, I think that I'm the best candidate. And I think I can go in and, raise morale in the office. I think that I can deal with the challenges that the office faces. And I think that we can, we'll be a fantastic agency for Granville County.
Fantastic. Again, Vance Johnson, candidate for Granville County Sheriff, joins us here on our Local Talk, but our Decision 2022 edition here for Local Talk and Next Door Radio. So do you have a platform that you're currently running on and
Yes.
the kind of the priority aspect of it?
Yeah, the priorities, I think that number one for me, you got some you have to set short-term and long-term goals. I think that, one of the short and long-term goals, because it would be combined, would be accreditation for the agency. There's been some progress made with that already. I think that's been started. It is an extremely difficult process. And it's probably a 2-year process to even get initially accredited. So that's a huge goal. I think that I'm the only candidate that has any kind of experience with that. I think it makes a difference. And so that's a big step there. Getting back to community engagement. I think the neighborhood watch programs, even though you use digital as well. I think you got to get back into the community and break down the community into different groups, because a group in Grassy Creek may not have the same issues that a group in Wilton may have. So I think that face-to-face is critical. So that's certainly a goal. I think that training within the agency needs to be improved. Accreditation would require some of that, but I think it's needed, and I think it's needed to raise morale in the office, and it also leads to credibility for the office when people have proper training. So I think increasing that is a big goal of mine. I think that we need to work closely with state and federal prosecutors on drug crimes. And I've got a history of doing that. I have testified in federal court against defendants, and I have, put some drug offenders in federal prison when need be. And I'm not soft on that. And I think that's the approach. Not that we're going to arrest our way out of that. That's not going to happen. There's a whole host of other problems that kind of interlink with all of that may not be law enforcement related. And I think that you can collaborate with different agencies within the county to address some of those things. But from a law enforcement perspective, I think repeat offenders especially we need to look at those and see if we can't do some federal prosecutions. And so that's a goal of mine as well. And that's a start. I think you gotta, that first 30 to 60 days is kind of an analysis phase. I don't think you go in with preconceived notions of anything. I don't think a leader does that. I think a leader goes in, sees what you have, and how do we improve on it?
Yes, sir.
Or maybe it's already successful.
Yes, sir. So that title, sheriff, right? In your opinion, your honest opinion, what does that mean to you? But also, in your opinion, what does a sheriff do?
The sheriff, being a constitutional office, is older than the county. Okay. And I don't think most people even realize that. It's certainly here long before any of us, and going to be here long after. What it means to me is you're responsible as the head law enforcement officer of the county. You're responsible for obviously safety concerns and law enforcement in the community, but it's also bringing people together. It's also bringing other agencies together. I'm familiar with the leaders in all of the local agencies currently, know them well. I think, we need to work together on making things happen. So the sheriff, being the head law enforcement officer, also needs to bring people to the table to make it successful. It's a powerful position, and I think that being such a powerful position, I think that it's critical that you have accountability. And the only real way of doing that is through accreditation. It's through inventories. It's through, it's through doing things that hold me accountable. It's made public. The public sees whether it's right or not. And then we don't make accreditation. Guess what? I'm not doing my job. And I think that's one of the few ways that you can do that.
Yeah, Vance Johnson, candidate for Granville County Sheriff, joins us here on our Decision 2022 and Local Talk here on Next Door Radio. So the first few months, election's over with. You would be fortunate enough to win. What does a Vance Johnson administration look like?
I think you got to figure out what you have in place. I think that the first few weeks you spend meeting with every employee. You need to sit down with employees. I like to sit down with new employees, or if I'm new to a place, I need to find out from them, hey, what do you think are 3 things that need improvement? And what do you think that are three things that are already great? And when you meet with employees and get those ideas, you're going to know what's good and what's not. As far as what the administration looks like, look, I hear people talk all the time on, you got a lot of candidates running. Vance Johnson brings nobody with him to be in the administration. I think we've got a good core group within the sheriff's office. It's 70 employees. Come on. We can find some good quality Granville County officers to staff that office. And so the administration part of it, I think you have to figure it out. You've got to analyze it. You got to see what you've got. You got to see what works and what don't work. So I can't tell you exactly what it looks like. I think that's unfair to the office.
Yeah, that's an honest answer. I appreciate that. So at the sheriff's debate, the candidates debate, there was a lot of talk about the evidence locker. So give your opinion on that and your thoughts as the issue, that aspect of it.
At the sheriff's debate, something that I'd like the citizens to think about is that I'm the only person that was sitting on that stage that's ever held the responsibility to not only keep up with evidence as an agency head, but also to call in the SBI to assist, which I've done on many occasions. So my thought on that is I think I know it was mentioned that 50 guns are missing. Look, I read the investigation that the county did, which I thought was comprehensive. And I read the written report and also sit and listen to them when they spoke. And I think they ran an administrative investigation alongside a criminal investigation, which is how it's done. No other candidate up there could tell you that because they've never done that. When that administrative investigation finds 50 guns missing, they report that to the criminal investigation, which happened. So talking about 50 guns missing is old news. I don't think that, I said I wouldn't call the SBI to do an inventory because guess what? They're not going to come do an inventory. I know that. I've worked with the SBI. They're not going to come do your inventory because I'm the sheriff. I'm the one responsible. I need to do an inventory. If something is missing or something is wrong, then I will address it. And if it's something criminal, then I will request that the SBI come because they're going to come do a criminal investigation. They're not going to audit your evidence. It's not realistic. They just don't do it. It's a monumental task. And as sheriff, I think I'm responsible for that. And I have no problem if I find something wrong requesting the SBI. But to talk about 50 guns missing and we need the SBI, they don't connect. The 50 guns was investigated and reported, and I think it's old news.
So, Ms. Johnson, do you have any regrets in your career? And if so, would you kind of do things differently? Or would have been, should I say?
No, I don't have regrets. I think that, we all make mistakes along the way. Certainly in a 30-year career, I've made my share of mistakes. I like to look at those as learning experiences, and maybe I go get more training or, I seek advice or whatever, but not necessarily regrets. I think it's learning experiences. And when you see something you don't understand or you don't know, find somebody that does, or go get the training. I mean, I've had over 3,000 hours of training, of just in-service training alone. You go learn about it and get better at it. And you recognize something that's maybe one of your weaknesses, then go get better at it.
Fantastic. Again, Vance Johnson joins us here on our Decision 2022. He's running for a candidate for Granville County Sheriff. So there has been some serious issues with the trust aspect of it now in the sheriff's office for Granville County. Do you have any thoughts on those and kind of leading back into the trust aspect of it once this election is over with?
I think that there's still trust issues between the community and the office. I think that's clear. When I'm out talking to people, I think it's clear. Is that justified? Yes, I think it's justified in that there still needs to be some reconnection. And I think there still needs to be some growth within the office. And I think getting out in the community helps build that. As far as the things that look, there was people arrested, let's be honest, there's been people arrested. And, I think the internal investigation described it as well as it could by saying that it was a culture, and it was a mindset, and it was a culture. Well, what happens with the culture, it starts with the leadership. And so I think some of those things have been addressed already. That doesn't mean that things don't still exist. It could. I'm not saying that it's not. I mean, it certainly could. I don't tolerate that. So, I mean, that wouldn't be an issue with me. You're going to do the right thing because it's the right thing. So, I think that's how you kind of build that trust back. But, I think you start by, your culture is from your leader. And you go in, you lead by example, and you change that culture. Once that culture is gone, or maybe it's already gone, I mean, but the public don't know that.
So give our audience the top 3 or 4 reasons why they should be voting for Vance Johnson for the next sheriff for Granville County.
I've absolutely got more law enforcement law or executive law enforcement experience than anybody that's running Republican or Democrat. I've got the experience, I've got the training, I've got the knowledge. I'm a nice guy. I mean, I really am. I'm a very nice guy. I'm very easy to get along with. I'm easy to talk to. I like getting out talking to people in the public. And I think that is why I think you should vote for me. I think my platform, when you look at it, it's moving us in the right direction. And I don't talk about things that I can't do. And I hear that all the time from other candidates, no one in particular, because I hear from all the candidates, it seems like, you're telling people things that I know from an administrator, because I've got that experience, that you're telling people things that you cannot accomplish. And I want to be fair to people. I want to be honest with people, and you know what you get from me.
Fantastic. So we like to end our Decision 2022 segment, really opening up the floor to give you a last couple of minutes to really express feelings, any concerns that you might have or anything like that. But we want to kind of open this floor up for anything that you have on your mind.
I think that one of the things I'd really like to get across to the citizens of Granville County is that I'm part of Granville County. I've got a family here. I love it here. And it's where I want to be. I'm vested in this community, and I want what's best for the community. That's important to me. And I know that, look, I know I'm not going to get everybody's vote, come on, it's an election, right? I get that. But I think that I think I'm the best choice. I really do. And I think that if you really look at the record, not only my experience, but look at my progressive experience in law enforcement, there's not another candidate out of all the candidates that's even supervised a patrol shift that I'm aware of. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. If day one, that's something you talked about early on, is, day one, when you step in office, day one, when you have a major incident, a major homicide, who do you want to show up? Do you want somebody that's handled that situation, or do you want somebody that has no idea what they're doing and they've got to figure it out? And I think that's important, and I'd leave the citizens with this thought. Don't let someone tell you how they're going to do it if they've never done it. So that's important. Think about that when you're making your decision.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Johnson, appreciate you for your time very much. Continue doing great things, of course, for Granville County as well. But God bless you, my friend.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed
it. That's Vance Johnson, the candidate for Granville County Sheriff, here part of our Decision 2022 here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and by way of the Nextdoor Radio app, available by the Google and Apple stores. Till next time, God bless. We'll see you later.